It's about time you listen to the Shenmue AM2 Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of the Shenmue AM2 Podcast. We're your hosts, Andrew
and Matt.
And we are here for episode 84 of this podcast, which is a lot. But we are here to talk about episode 12 of Shenmue The Animation, Guidepost.
Also a lot. Not as much as us, but, I mean...
Like, we're... like 6 times better than they are?
I think so, yeah.
That's
what I take away from this.
Yeah, they're shit compared to us.
No, we love it.
Come at us, Shenmue Animation, bro.
Yeah, come at us.
Yo, bro. I set you up for something here. This episode is called Guidepost.
What? I don't get your reference.
This episode is called Guidepost.
Uh-huh.
And there's something you usually say about the names of these.
I do?
Yeah.
I'm having a stroke. I don't know.
Matt, can you feel your left arm? You always he felt it with the other arm.
Oh yeah, I ask what the significance is.
Yeah.
Right.
What's the significance of Guidepost? I'm thinking poor translation.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it meant something else in Japanese, and
quite possibly. I saw no guideposts. No one acted as a guidepost.
I didn't even see any signage.
Well, I'm sure there's signage everywhere, but just in the background, graffiti.
Speaking of graffiti, Sega
News
is announcing 2 new Super games.
Super games.
They're apparently working on Crazy Taxi and Jet Grind Radio reboots.
As Fortnite-esque live service games. Massively multiplayer, I'm gonna assume arena-based competition, battle royale, possibly games. Which, I don't know.
I think Crazy Taxi, we were talking about it earlier, I think Crazy Taxi would be an awesome battle royale game, competing for the fares.
Yeah. And being eliminated one by one until there's only a couple taxi drivers left. I don't know if the map would have to shrink as well, but yeah, it's almost like Tetris 99. Just see who can play Crazy Taxi the longest.
Yeah, it would essentially be like playing an arcade, because the arcade version of it is you're trying to go as long as you can, but it's not necessarily just the clock you're working against. You could be working against other people. Like you said, the map shortening.
In the arcade version, you could play it multiplayer, could you?
You can't play it... no, you can't play it multiplayer, but you're competing against the clock, right?
Yeah.
To run at a time.
Yeah, I'm guessing in this, I'm wondering if they would make it so you could, screw each other over by, crashing into each other and stuff, messing each other up.
Yeah, you could put their taxi at a commission for, 5 seconds or something.
It could be fun. I'm not going to knock it till I've tried it,
And Jet Grind Radio...
And it will likely be free, so...
Jet Grind Radio, I think, is another... I don't want that as an arena game. I would just love a new Jet Grind Radio.
Same. I mean, we're getting it with Bomb Rush, but...
I thought you said Bum Rush. I was like, what are you talking about?
Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Yeah. That I'm really pumped for, but we'll see how this plays out. And again, these are apparently both in really early stages, so Crazy Taxi apparently has been worked on for about a year, and they're in the very preliminary rounds of Jet Grind Radio, or Jet Set Radio, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I mean, it might not be exactly what we want, but at least they're doing something with the IP finally.
Yeah. I think...
Konami.
That reminds me, I got to order the Contra collection on Friday for Limited Run. I think we're going to see that going forward. That the 3-dimensional games we're going to see new versions of. And then the 2-dimensional old stuff, we're going to see it farmed out to third-party companies, like they did with Streets of Rage, like they're doing with the Monster World Wonder Boy stuff, hopefully with...
You think we'll get a new Golden Axe and Altered Beast and all that?
I'd love a new Golden Axe.
Strider.
New Shinobi.
Is Strider owned by Sega?
Nah, Strider's...
Oh, it's Capcom. Yeah. I just got confused because it was a big Genesis game.
Yeah, so really, it's good news, I guess. It's weird news, but it's good news.
Yeah, potentially.
And potentially some more. There was some new Sega stuff coming to the Switch Online service, and Game Boy Advance coming to Switch Online. And
is that all under the premium tier? Do I have to pay more for those as well? Probably.
No, it's all one tier, isn't it?
No, by default you get the SNES and NES, and then if you go up one tier, you get N64 and Genesis.
Yeah, it's all in the premium tier. But there's Game Boy Advance apparently coming, and there's quite a few Sega games on the Game Boy Advance, so maybe we'll see some Sega properties there too. But the more Sega stuff comes out, the more revenue can be generated to do other projects. Shenmue 4.
And hopefully get a Dreamcast too. All right.
Would you actually want a Dreamcast too?
I would love if Sega came back into the console business. I don't even care if they push Sony out.
I don't know if I want a Dreamcast too.
Oh.
I
just love Sega's inventive IP, but maybe we can't get back there. I don't know.
I don't think we can. But we did get Dreamcast too. When you look at once Sega went, we're really off topic here, but I'm loving the Sega talk. When Sega hopped out of the console market, and you look at the Xbox, the PlayStation 2, and the GameCube, they really put a lot of stuff on those.
Yeah, all stuff that probably would have been on the Dreamcast had it lived. I assume most of it. Yeah,
there was a lot of ports. So they worked with Acclaim to put some stuff on the PS2 and the GameCube, like the Crazy Taxi games, Echo the Dolphin, 18-Wheeler. And then they had a bunch of IPs that would have been on the Dreamcast go to the Xbox. And then they put a lot of Sonic stuff on the GameCube, a lot of random stuff on the PS2. All the Sega sports titles were on across all three. Sega actually released the final GameCube game. It was that college basketball game, 2K3. Or 2K5 for the GameCube. So, and I'm trying to get all the Sega games for the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox, and it is fucking expensive for a shitty sports game. And it's probably the shittiest version of that game, too, because the Xbox and PS2 versions are probably better. I get NHL 2K3 on the weekend.
Nice.
That was a good find for me. Yeah, we should do a whole Sega episode after this, maybe, about
Sega
stuff.
Memories.
Yeah.
Or State of Sega.
There's
something like that.
Did you ever watch RGT85
no.
on YouTube? He did it's a 20-minute video of how he can fix Sega single-handedly by himself, and it's very interesting. He has some good ideas in it, and he puts it into short-term, medium, and long-term planning. But it was interesting. We should. I'll put a link in the description, maybe.
Okay.
If I remember to. So this episode begins with Wong being chased by the goons from last episode.
The pre-credit sequence is all reused from the previous episode,
and he hops on Joy's bike. She's like, "Who's chasing you?" He says, "The Yellowheads." Every time I hear Yellowheads, I think it's racist.
Yeah, I know. It's either racist or it's a skin blemish. Blackheads, yellowheads.
Oh, I there's I don't want to say techno, but electronic version of the Shenmue theme playing.
Which we've heard before, I think.
The Shenmue theme we've heard before, a few different versions, but Matt brought up a good point. Has there been any other actual music from the games in the show?
Not that I've noticed. Anytime I recognize a theme, I think it's this one. I think that's the only one they've used. We definitely didn't get the convenience store theme.
Bastards.
Didn't even get the convenience store. R.I.P. Tomato. And Mario's Pizza.
What's the Mario pizzas?
Pizza.
Bob's Pizza.
Oh yeah, is it Bob's Pizza?
Yeah, it's Bob's Pizza. There's no way it's Mario's.
What? No, the guy's name is Mario.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure. The guy behind the counter is Mario, I think. Mario's son. I don't know. Maybe.
We need to Google this.
Keep talking while I Google.
I'm just filling dead air here. Well, that's typing. This episode is
Bob's Pizzeria.
Bob's Pizzeria.
It's run by Mario Griani.
All right. And what's the theme?
Da pizza.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. This show isn't over yet. There could be a franchise of Bob's Pizza in Guilin or wherever we go next. It's on the top of the Yellowhead building.
There's one up there, and there's one that opens up in the cave.
well, her dad needed food from someone.
Yeah.
She wasn't bringing it to him. So Wong explains to Joy that the Yellowheads know everything. They've been tailing Ren and thus tailing Rio as well. And we cut back to Ren and Rio in the Yellowhead building being chased by Dunyu, and he's like, he says he wants to celebrate the reunion with a head bashing.
All right.
Seems a little violent.
Mm-hmm. But you love that cacophonous sound of two heads bashing together, like coconut. It's good at parties.
It's good at
You never went to a house party and you just grabbed two random guys' heads and smashed them together?
Okay, I have a story. So went camping.
So you have, okay.
No, this is hilarious. This is one of these times where a bunch of things happen at the exact same moment.
Mm-hmm.
So we were camping down New River Beach. It was my now wife, so girlfriend at the time, my friend Jason and Melissa, my friends Peter and Jocelyn, and our friend Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
So we had two adjacent campsites, literally 20 feet apart. I get up, I'm like, I'm gonna go get another beer.
Mm-hmm.
I get a beer in my cooler, and I turn around, and all of this happens at the same time. So my friend Peter went to take a pee in the woods, and he tripped over a tree root, and he fell.
Mm-hmm.
But as he fell, there was a little portable barbecue that he tried to catch himself on, which isn't attached to anything, and he falls, hits the picnic table, turns, pulls the barbecue off, and it smashes him in the face.
Oh. And his dick's out.
No, his dick is not out yet.
Okay. Not yet. Okay.
So, our friend Jason is screaming, laughing at him because he sees this. Peter's now wife, Jocelyn, was like, Peter, what the hell are you doing? But also, at the exact same moment, our friend Ryan went to pretend to hug my wife and Jason's wife, Melissa, and, like, conked their heads together because he was hilariously drunk and thought it was funny. And I just turn around and all of this is happening at once. And I'm, like, upset that he conked my wife's head together with another girl. But Peter's just lying in this ditch with a barbecue on his face. But, yeah, it was,
interesting sound.
It was like, but it was all in my mind. It's just one thing happening all at once.
Everything went to shit all at once.
It did.
At least you got out unscathed.
Yeah, I was just getting a beer out of the cooler.
Your beer randomly explodes in your hand. Woo, at least I'm okay.
Like the one from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
With a paint shaker. All right, so Wong realizes he needs to help Rio and Ren. Joy tells him to let it go because they can't beat the Yellowheads. But Wong wants to change. He feels like his life has been on the right track ever since he stole Rio's bag.
He's tired of being a scummy dirtbag. Scummy poor dirtbag.
He doesn't like being an orphan. I mean, it's his fault. He can just get some parents.
Jeez.
It's terrible. No.
Just find some parents.
The Shenmue AM2 Podcast does not condone
abusing orphans emotionally.
Physically, he's fine. But he thinks Rio has changed him, so he tells Joy he's going to go help them with or without her. And he runs off. And then Joy has like a moment where she's thinking like, I need to help Wong. I need to help them because I need to help Wong.
Mm-hmm. She has a bunch of flashbacks.
Yeah, she has some flashbacks about initially meeting Rio and helping him throughout the various times. So these are like ragtag people that he has run into. Joy, Wong, Ren. They're all like, none of them have their lives together, it seems. But Ryo's been a positive influence on all of them. Mm-hmm. And they've been kind of a positive influence on each other a little bit, too.
I mean, I'm just trying to think, what has Ryo done? Like, we're just inserting, like, everything we know about Ryo from the game, but I'm thinking, like, in this show, what has he done to, like, inspire or change these people? He just reacts to what happens to him. He's like, oh, that happened. All right, I'm off on my quest, and, like, they, I don't know, is there any specific instances that they know of that could feasibly have changed their hearts of things that he's done? I can't really think of anything.
I guess his cause is good, and maybe that is why...
Revenge!
But he's not out for revenge. He wants to know why. And I think that might be why they are avoiding using the word revenge, is because it makes his quests seem more noble. If that makes sense.
I just think that all the character growth and development and anything like that Ryo has had has been with Zhu Ying and Fang Mei. They're the only ones who were around to witness it. And all the people that he learned the four Wudu from. And Ren and Joy and Wong were completely separate from that. I don't know. Somebody remind me what he did to inspire these people.
Or maybe they just feel bad for him.
Maybe
it's their...
I pity you, and that changed my heart.
Pretty much. I think that's what it is. So, what did I write here? I can't even read. So, it cuts back to Dunyu chasing Ryo and Ren through the Yellowhead building. Planks. So we eventually get to the planks. They run across. Ren goes first, then Ryo, and then Ren kicks it off. One thing I did not like is the over-dramatic, almost Dunyu falling down the hole on one foot. Whoa! That went on too long.
A little bit cartoony.
Yeah, very cartoony. He yells, "You bastards, fight me like men." And they're just like, Nope. Peace, buddy. Joy has a flashback. I think it was the one we just talked about. Oh. And she goes and picks up Wong. Tells him to get on. We do see the thugs here that were chasing him, and one of them steals a bicycle to chase Joy on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit of comic relief in this.
I don't know what he thought was going to happen.
Cuts back to Ryo and Ren run up a flight of stairs, and they run into Yuan, and he has a chainsaw.
Oh, yeah.
I got it right.
You got it.
They avoid the chainsaw, run away from her. Him. Fuck. Damn it. That was not on purpose. They run away from him. We get a very cheesy two thugs running at Ren and Ryo. They like... 1, 2, they say something and they do a double jump kick at the same time. It's very cheesy. Did
that happen in the game? Them stepping on people's faces in tandem? It felt familiar.
It did. Then we have the part where Yuan's still chasing them. Ryo kicks there's a work site thing, and some supplies fall over and cause a dust up or whatever.
Is that where they give each other the high five, kind of?
Yes.
Clap their hands together.
It cuts back to Wong and Joy. They're discussing how they're going to get into the Yellowhead building. Joy tells Wong to pretend that he's her little brother, and that they get in saying that she's Chun's daughter from the white tie.
Which is all stuff we've learned recently about her.
Yes.
We never knew before. So in this version of Shenmue, she gets herself kidnapped.
Yes.
On purpose. Almost.
Well, she plans to get into the building. She still does get kidnapped inside the building.
Yeah.
In the Yellowhead building. So they essentially trick the guy to let them in, saying, I'm important, or I'm someone's important's daughter. The white tie 10 years ago, ran the gambling syndicate in Hong Kong. Dunyu and his goons used to do the dirty deeds, dirt cheap. Obviously, that price has to be dirt cheap for the white ties. Then it says the Yellowheads sold them out. They don't imply who the Yellowheads sold out. This was a little confusing.
Or who they sold them out to. Yeah.
Yeah, it just maybe poor translation, maybe poor writing. Who knows?
Or it's just not important.
Yeah.
This is all extra story that we never got in the first place.
You're right. You hear over the radio that they have Joy, and Yuan and Dunyu hear it. Dunyu does not seem concerned about it. He's just like,
later.
Yeah,
Landi's
have the goons take her to the basement, lock her up in the cage or whatever they call it. So it cuts to those goons, the guy in the blue with the gray hair, going in like, you need to come with us. Wong escapes through
vents.
He's crawling through the vents like...
he becomes Newt from Aliens.
I've seen Alien.
Aliens is just as good in a different way.
So they tell Joy to go with them, and Joy's not having it. She's like, no,
She has moves. We've never seen her do moves before.
Yeah, she does fight one of them, doesn't she?
She like arm locks the guy.
Oh, yeah.
He like goes for her, and she's like, Whoosh.
Matt did a move there. We're on an audio podcast.
You heard it. Everybody knows what that looks like.
Then Bahu shows up. And
he's like, he gives her like one warning. I don't want to hurt you, and then he does.
Yeah, he just does the old Austin Powers judo chop. And she goes down like a ton of bricks. Wong sees out the vent. He's on a little belly crawling mission through here.
The logistics of him going in the vent and finding anything that like related to what he's looking for in any amount of time that would be useful is just ridiculous with the amount of floors and the amount of square foot area there is in those buildings, like, and the speed at which you have to crawl around in vents. Like, it would never work, but whatever. Suspension of disbelief.
So he finds a room with Yuan Deju in it, and then
I didn't know Yuan Deju was in a wheelchair. Was he in a wheelchair in the game?
Yeah, I don't think he walks.
I know he's usually sitting, but I couldn't remember if he was in a wheelchair.
They hear that Yuan is coming back, so Wong hops back up in the vent, and there's some rats in the vent.
So he kills the rats with the lighter.
He doesn't kill the rats.
They all of them except for one just fall down.
No, he's
and they don't move.
them.
I know, but they all fall down onto Yuan, and they remain unmoving, and most of them have their eyes closed.
But then their eyes open when Yuan becomes unhinged.
Oh, okay.
He is definitely scared of the rats.
Mm-hmm. They're dirty.
Has a phobia. Because Yuan is a bit of a
germaphobe.
And
but he lives in those buildings.
Yeah, he is losing his mind that the rats are on them, and he literally bursts out of the room and like jumps onto one of the goons, and it was just literally raving that there's rats.
And he goes, chew, chew, but so I was like, oh, does chew mean rat? And I was like, and that's why it's called Choo Choo Rocket. And then later he says Nezu, which I was like, oh yeah, that means rat. So what's chew mean? I gotta look it up. You keep talking.
Mario Griani is the shoprunner at Bob's Pizza. Why is it Bob's Pizza if his name is Mario? I'm just saying, if you were to name it Mario's Pizza or Bob's Pizza, one of those sounds way more authentic.
Okay, so chew just means squeak. So he was saying squeak, squeak, rats, I guess. I don't know. Like people wouldn't know what he was talking about unless he made the sound.
It's like when you ask someone for the time and you look at your own wrist.
Yeah, you know, wrists, time.
Can I borrow your stapler? And you're
squeeze your fingers.
You're squeezing your hand shut.
Yeah. I think Japanese onomatopoeia for animals is interesting. The like the chew, and then do you know what noise they make for frogs in Japan? You know, we go ribbit. Do you know what they do?
No.
They go ghetto. That's their frog sound.
There's something I want to talk about at the end here that we missed last episode.
Okay.
We talked about it after. but it did make it onto the show. So Ryo and Ren find Joy in the basement, and Bahu shows up. Bahu doesn't... He knows Ryo is the person that's in charge, almost. Mm-hmm. The Bahu fight is, I think, my favorite fight in the 2 games. I really, really enjoy it. It isn't necessarily the hardest fight. The hardest one, I believe, is the ones to unlock the duck race, or the fight against Chai in the arcade in the first game.
Yeah.
But those ones, you kind of get spammy in them. With the one in the arcade, you're doing that ground sweep move or whatever it is over and over is kind of the best technique. And the ones with Izumi and Eileen, it's just kind of running away and then attacking when they attack you. But the one with Bahu is just like playing a game of Virtua Fighter. It's like Akira versus Lao.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And it takes place within an arena, which makes it seem more like a fighting game, which this fight did not. It took place outside of the arena.
Yeah, the cage that Joy was in is like the size of... like
a closet.
Yeah, it wasn't very big at all. It wasn't what I was expecting, but...
No cage match.
Bahu is about to attack, or he's approaching Ryo, and Ryo has a flashback about the 4 Wudu. And they have a very, very brief, 5-move fight. Bahu throws a couple punches at Ryo. Ryo throws a couple at him, and then...
And he kicks him in the neck.
Yeah, he kicks him in the neck, and it's over.
Judo kick.
That fight should have been better.
Yeah.
It should have been better.
Yeah.
Then we cut to a scene of Wong very, very quickly pushing Yuan Diju in a wheelchair towards an elevator. And some bad guys show up.
Oh, and that earlier, that bad guy on the bicycle showed up, and he discovered that his goons had a car the whole time, so he got angry.
Yes.
But now he's in the building, and he tries to confront Wong and Yuan Diju.
Yuan Diju has a cane, so Yuan Diju must be able to walk, because he has a cane.
Yeah.
And Wong's like, and the guy's just like, no, full tilt ahead. And he literally jousts this goon with the cane and, flips him over.
I'm not sure if the physics of that work or not. I think that guy's probably heavier than Yuan Daju and the wheelchair and the kid combined. But
momentum.
I guess. They both, but the guy had momentum too. He was running forward.
Well, you're stupid then. So they continue down the hallway, and it's kind of half computer animated, that scene almost.
Yeah. It's odd when where they decide to use 3D animation.
Then Dong-yu comes out of the elevator, and
we assume they get caught again.
Yeah, there's no finality to that, but in the game, they're on the roof and he's holding Wong over the edge of the building. Yuan it cuts back to Ryo and Ren going through the building again because they're trying to find...
With Joy this time,
trying to find Yuan Diju and Wong, and they run into Yuan again, and Yuan is totally out of his mind. God damn it. Fuck.
This is the last time you'll have to screw that up.
I don't it's just so long in the I've played the game for so many years and my mind just will not correct that. But she fuck it. My God, my brain. He just tries to stab Ren right away, and his eyes are all they have bags under them, and
not having a good day.
He just looks like shit.
Yeah.
And
Ren does a awesome kick I've never seen him do in the game, and he holds it for a long time, all styling on Yuan.
Yuan ends up in the elevator, just like the game, handcuffed to the railing in the elevator.
And you were like, do the garbage thing, and then they did it.
Yeah, they did it. They ask him where Yuan Diju and Wong are being handed over to... Well, not necessarily Wong being handed over, but Yuan Diju being handed over to Landi.
Wong's being handed over a ledge.
He's being handed over directly to gravity. Yuan, does not want to tell them. But again, the germaphobe thing comes back, and Ren wheels over his garbage can. Yuan folds like a cheap lawn chair, tells everything.
Why is there just garbage everywhere in this building?
Then Ren boots the garbage can into the elevator and sends it down. And that is the last we see of Yuan. In the game, like, there's nothing after that, is there?
No, I don't think so.
Then they make...
He died.
Well, yeah, if no one's rescued him out of the elevator, he would have just shit and pissed himself to death. In all that garbage, it would have just made it worse.
Yep.
They take the elevator up to the top floor. They burst out, they find some stairs, burst out onto the roof, and we see Londi hanging from the chopper. They lock eyes.
The end for now. Till next
Rio
week.
says, Londi.
Lante.
And then we get that happy music credits.
Yeah.
And that's it. Really like this episode.
Yeah.
I'm amazed
moves fast again, but
I'm amazed how much they've cut out of Kowloon.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Kowloon is one building.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But again, they also add some stuff too.
Yeah. We've gotten, I should say, a lot more background into Joy. A little bit into Wong and a little bit into Ren.
I feel like Ren was underdeveloped. He just appeared kinda and was immediately teamed up with, and they were like best buds right away almost, and then he just was Rio's sidekick. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
There was that one extra scene they added with him and Joy, which was nice, but that came after he had already been around for a little bit.
The game really introduces him as a piece of shit.
Yeah.
We didn't get that in the show.
Mm-hmm. They didn't really establish his reputation that good, I don't think, in the show.
No.
That well.
And maybe it's because they plan on him being that minor character in the Shenmue 3 portion of this story. Because this has been renewed for Season 2.
Hooray!
No, that's, again, me just pulling your leg.
Dang it.
But yeah, we'll see where they go. This ends with the helicopter. So in that trailer, they're fighting on that roof. So I don't know where episode 13 is going to go. We have not watched the trailer for it.
Is there a trailer?
There is.
Okay.
Do you want to watch it?
Is it like 5 seconds?
I don't know. I haven't watched. The only one trailer I've watched was, I think, for the one for episode 1 and for episode 2.
Episode 13 trailer? 30 seconds.
On the season finale of Shenmue The Animation.
Yeah, he's off the elevator, or helicopter. Rio's eyes are literally seeing red.
This isn't gonna work.
So we meet again, Hazuki boy. Shenmue
Hazuki
The
boy.
Animation, next Saturday at midnight. I see you have improved somewhat.
Yeah, it's just Londi is easily kicking his ass.
As expected.
Yeah.
But that's kind of neat, I guess. They get to have a confrontation that they didn't have in the game. I mean, it's going to be predictable. Wouldn't you love it if they, like, mixed it up and allowed Rio to hit him once? Just to show his progress?
I think they will.
You think Rio's going to get a hit in?
I think Rio's going to hit him.
I don't think so.
Londi is going to feel some impact in this. Something.
Londi's like Mr. Miyagi in The Karate Kid. No one ever touched him.
It's been so long since I watched that movie.
He was in 4 movies. Nobody laid a hand on him. Technically, one person hit him with a stick. That's the only time he got hurt. Not even hurt. That's the only time he was struck in the entire quadrilogy. Londi and Mr. Miyagi are masters on the same level.
Crossover episode. So that's it for this episode of the show.
And I should add, I don't like that, by the way. I don't like people being so far beyond somebody else that nobody can even give them a challenge. I like...
I just hit Matt. He didn't even see it coming.
I guess people on that level do exist.
So that's it for this episode of The Animation. Now, some cool things have happened in the Shenmue world. They are doing another promotion in Yokosuka for the Sacred Spot map. There's a new version of it based on the anime.
Which I guess has a few different locations?
Possibly.
In the game?
There's some postcards instead of coasters that they're going to be giving out. There's also like these silk bags that are made out of the material they used to make like the Jupiter's jackets.
Like a silky thing.
And they're embroidered with like the logo of the Phoenix Mirror and the Dragon Mirror.
What comes in the bags?
I think you're supposed to put the postcards in the bags, maybe?
Oh.
There's like a pamphlet or leaflet or something too they're giving out. So I'm gonna do my best to try to make it happen that I can get these somehow. I don't know who's.
Well, who got them for you last time?
We get them from Switch from Phantom Riverstone, I think. I don't know.
Hook Andrew up.
Someone, please, begging you. The collector inside me needs these. I'll pay. I will pay. So that's happening. That's awesome. I get an email from Limited Run Games that the Mega Collection Super Bundle is going to be shipping soon.
Hooray.
Of the collector's edition of the game with all that stuff in it. And then I ordered the thing I ordered came with a big set of records, and I also ordered the little CD version of it as well. So all that is coming. And you getting that mouse pad out just totally threw me off.
Sorry. I just found a mouse pad that I forgot I had.
And something else Shenmue related. No, it's not Shenmue related, but watching it, I'm like, oh my god, that's the Hazuki Dojo. Did you watch any of Old Enough yet?
Just the first one.
So Old Enough is this really weird niche show on Netflix.
I heard them talking about it on CBC today.
And what it is it's set in Japan. It's a reality TV show where they send a Japanese toddler out to do, like...
Errands.
And a film crew follows them. Mm-hmm. So the first episode, they have this 2.5-year-old go to the grocery store and they have to cross a highway in it. But the second episode is this family that own trees that grow mandarin oranges, and they send this 4-year-old kid back to the house to make some orange juice out of this mandarin oranges for the people that are working. And the kid goes home, and the entryway to the house is literally the entryway to Ryo's house in Shenmue 1. It's incredible. They have the thing for the shoes, there's the umbrellas, there's the step up. Wow. It's insane how accurate it looks. The kid just starts drawing or something and gets sidetracked about...
Fails his mission.
And then lies. His mom calls the house and he lies about making the orange juice.
Oh yeah, I did it.
Oh yeah, I'll be right down with that orange juice, Mom. Then he frantically starts making orange juice. And
makes a mess, I assume.
But yeah, that show is hilarious. The first episode's only, I think, 7 minutes long.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. The kid had to go get, sausage and flowers for his grandmother's shrine, which is...
Yeah, there's a shrine in the house,
There's a shrine in the house, like the Hazuki one. And also curry. And he buys 2 of those things, and then he starts, waddling back. And then he's like, I forgot the curry. And he has to go back and get the curry.
His mom made him a little flag so he could cross the highway.
Yeah, and he's got squeaky shoes on. So it's just ridiculous.
He's got a little thermos that he keeps his money in. It's hilarious, this show.
Yeah.
But
it's child abuse. 2.5 years old.
Yeah. Go do my errands for me. This camera crew might keep you safe. Who knows? But
they're going to let you do the highway. That's all you.
So that was episode 12 of Shenmue The Animation. We're at the finale. I'm really excited to watch this. And I don't know where our podcast is going to go after this, because we've been doing it weekly for a bit. The podcast is now free for us to do. We're not paying for it anymore to be hosted, so it doesn't really... It's easier to keep it going. So we can do episodes here and there. We'll figure it out. Matt's playing through. Did you finish it to get your trophies?
Oh, the original?
Yeah, because you hadn't beat it yet, have you?
No. I still haven't.
So maybe we'll talk about Matt's playthrough. Who knows?
I think we talked about the remake already, but I don't know. I don't know what else I can add. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. We'll figure out some episodes. Yeah. But very excited to see how the finale ends, and then hopefully it ends with them announcing a season 2. Mm-hmm. It's trending on Twitter every time, or trending on Elon Musk's
personal blog,
personal whatever thing now,
message board.
Yeah, but we'll see where it goes. I'm hoping it. I don't know. We know where the story ends. Or we think we know where that story ends, so we'll see where it goes. Maybe they'll get some more backstory into Shenhua's dad.
Yeah.
And that next episode is definitely starting out with the prophecy, or ending with it, or both.
It's gonna appear 100%.
200%. It's appearing twice. So you can find us on social media at Shenmue AM2 Pod on Twitter, Shenmue AM2 Podcast at gmail.com. We did get an email about potentially doing a collaborative episode with another podcast that is reviewing the show. So maybe we'll look into that. Who knows?
Cool.
They have someone that on their show that has not played the game but is watching the podcast. So
watching the show,
I guess.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I meant to say. So maybe we can chat about that. Who knows?
Yeah.
We're on Facebook. We have a page and a group. We're on the dojo. That's where we post all the new episodes, so share your thoughts there. And we don't really have a sponsor this week, but the Shenmue AM2 Podcast does stand with the janitorial union of the Yellowhead building.
Yeah, they've been on strike since 1982. I mean, nobody's been picking up the trash, but we gotta support them. Like, they're not treated well in the Yellowhead building.
Yeah. It's not a safe work environment. It's filthy. It's dangerous. There's goons. They stepped off the job, and we support them.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right. Later.
Bye.